Hi. George W. Bush is reported to have said that the French economy is so bad because the French have no word for entrepreneur. Now, this is taken as a joke at Bush's expense because the word entrepreneur is, of course, French. Snopes.com, the fact checker, says Bush didn't say it. But whether he did or did not, a joke it certainly is not, because the French entrepreneur is the opposite of an American one, which leads me right into the topic of this clip. In French, the word entrepreneur comes from entreprendre, or to undertake, and it means a contractor, someone who works for someone else to realize someone else's dream and gets paid for it. In other words, a French entrepreneur is an agent. On the other hand, an American entrepreneur is an initiator, someone who employs agents and contractors, that is, he's a principal. The difference between agent and principals is wide and deep. At the extreme, you may even say it is the difference between two kinds of people. Agents are guns for hire, working to realize someone else's dream for pay and approval. Principals employ hired guns and pay them with wage and approval to realize their own dream. Which kind are you, agent or principal? Which kind would you like to be? Now, this channel is not a life coach channel. It only aims to help you take other people's money in the market fair and square by sleuthing for physical information before it becomes blips on screen that everybody knows. But once you have such information, what do you do with it? How do you use the exclusive information to buy and sell stocks? It is here that the difference between a principal and an agent matters, and it matters a lot. An agent is someone who gets a salary offer, for example, 70 grand, and says yes or no to it. He or she may dicker a bit, but he will take the starting point as given. A principal will tell a company that needs his services, I want $500,000 for the project, or 20% for the boost in sales. If they say no, he just walks away. He fixed the price, not them. The mind of an agent does not even contain the idea that he can make the price himself. Saying it differently, an agent is a price taker. A principal is a price giver. It works also in business. An agent receives offers of a deal and say yes or no to them, or suggest changes. A principal, on the other hand, makes offer to others. He initiates. It's the same in the market. An agent investor looks at the stock trading at, say, $10 and calculates the PE, the dividend yield, the EB to EBITDA, and other valuation measures to answer the question, is the price of $10 today high, low, or fair? But a principal does not give a hoot about the price quoted today. He will look at a company and say, I would pay $1 for it to make it worth my while. I don't care where it trades right now. I will offer $1. No, I'll offer 75 cents to be safe. Then I'll wait. Offer how? If you trade online, you just put in a buy order to buy 100 shares or 500, whatever you want, at 75 cents, and this will act as a trigger. Put in a buy order as good till canceled, and then you wait. Until when? Until the market relents and accepts your price. It may take months or years, but so what? You have time. That's how a principal investor thinks. If you start doing this, act like this, the world would look different to you. Control would be in your hands, not in the market hands. You will be making the price, not the market or the seller. Remember, the offered price is not a starting point to evaluate. For you, it is irrelevant. What you will pay is the only thing that matters. And for this stock, you decide to pay 75 cents. If the seller doesn't want to sell this price, fine, walk away. The offer still stands. It costs you nothing to post it. Maybe one day it will be accepted. Now, why do you think Warren Buffett has today $100 billion in cash? Because he's willing to offer prices well below those of the market, and the market doesn't want them. The market doesn't want to sell stocks today at his prices. So Warren Buffett shrugs and walks away and keeps his cash. He's a principal and he has other things to do. Do you? Or is the market for you a hobby and entertainment, perhaps also a job? Which brings me to the second key point. Principals and agents invest for completely different reasons. An agent like a fund manager or a stockbroker or a money manager doesn't want to make money. I mean, he does, but not really, not that much. What he really wants to is keep his job. If a stock is worth $20 and now trading for $2, even though he knows it's 20, he won't buy it if the stock can go down to $1 and stay there for a year, because his clients may then pull his money and the agent will be out of a job. Conversely, if a stock is soaring, the agent may have to buy it because the client will blame it if he did not participate in the rise. In still other words, the client has FOMO, fear of missing out, and it will even infect the agent manager's behavior. But the principal wouldn't care because he has no boss. Do you have a boss in the matter of your money? If you do, what I'm saying is useless to you. But if you are principal in the matter of your own money, the following can help quite a bit. First, make a list of stocks of companies you would love to own because you sloth them thoroughly and like their business and their management. But then, also note down the bottom stink prices you would love to pay for the stock, and I mean stink bid prices. Finally, put in stink bids for 100 shares of each, good till cancel. In the stock market, you can do that. Your bid will stay live, it will cost you nothing to keep the bid alive. You can't do it in real estate, and you can't do it for art, but you can do it for stocks. You do it, and then you wait. And meantime, do what? Why? Anything you want, except watch the market. The market makers will watch it for you, because one day you will come home back from the beach and realize you are long 100 shares of super duper company at 75 cents a share, because in the meantime, something happened. A virus hit the land, or a war broke out, or the president ran off with the vice president, or something. And everyone is afraid the war is ending. But if the war doesn't end, and it rarely does, you'll greet the new war with shares of super duper stock that cost you 75 cents, which you know are worth 10 or maybe even 20. But what do you do until you get your bargain? Why, go get a hobby. Read books. The best ones are free on Gutenberg.org. Or write some books. I do. Or mentor students. I do too. Or read 10Ks, 10Qs, financial statements, which I do too for fun. Or just loaf around. But one thing don't do. Don't play stocks for fun because, one, it is addictive, like Vegas, and you put your money and never get it back. And two, I and other sleuths like me who play like principals will take your money because you will be doing it like an agent. But you may ask, what if you put in a stink bid and you never get the lovely stock you want at the stink price you put in? Well, so what if you didn't get it? There are always other stocks around, and the market occasionally does panic like it did a few weeks ago, and like it will do again, in my opinion, the next 3 months. Remember, one of the ironclad rules of sleuth is no FOMO, no fear of missing out. There always are other stocks, other opportunities. Besides, as Churchill once said, if you insist on nothing but the very best, you very often get it. If you want to invest like a principal, you should be a price giver, not a price taker, so as to buy at the best price, best for you that is. And to know what cheap price to offer, you must get to know the company on a physical level. And for this, you must go out, meet people and talk to them, which now you can't because of Corona, but soon you will. So, meantime, make a list of great stock you'd like to own, their stink bids, and the answer to the 4 key questions for each. That is, think like a principal, not an agent. But wait, what are these 4 key questions you might answer for each of these companies? This I'll tell you the next video. The 4 questions, by the way, were thought up by Peter Drucker, the famous management guru, and I added to them one of my own. But that's for next time. Meantime, you can get a jump on all of this by reading my book, The Sleuth Investor, where you can find much more besides and look at the other clips of this channel. I hope both my book and the channel can help you take the money of those who haven't seen the video or read the book. And that's it for today. Meantime, let me know in comments below what you think of this. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell all your friends about it so they can subscribe too. See you next time, and thank you very much for watching.